We got look at this. This is a big big oof. Patreon is enabling. Big oof.
This is his state media site.
A Ukraine reporter, Natalia Antonova. She's a Ukrainian who can't fall back on being a surrogate, if you know what I mean. Or a prostitute. Too big.
Uh-oh.
Let me bring up Maddox's article. We got to read this thing.
How is Selena Dox these days?
Oh, she's doing not doing well, I don't think. Here's a unbiased journalist who did interviewed Maddox.
Right. Is this the one who fawns all over him in the first couple paragraphs? It's real reporting.
This is her opening question. Natalia, I hope it doesn't frighten you to say that I'm a big fan. She means physically.
Yeah.
Not figuratively.
Yes.
She means I'm fat. I'm a big fan. I think now it's scary to say that, right? That's how she starts the interview. I reached out to her to try to... Yeah.
Boy, really? I mean, just like enabling him to hang on to this crazy notion that like people are stalking him left and right. Yeah. Like, you're doing this. You're not who you think you are. No. Nobody really cares. It's just that you do react in crazy ways to things.
It's not horseman, it's horseman.
Yeah.
Oh. Got it. Sorry, I'll stop stalking your horseman. Maddox, thank you. I appreciate that. No, not at all.
Oh, no,
I think having lived through this ordeal.
You want to tell me where you live? Oh, he's a fucking survivor. My God.
Oh, they spend the whole fucking thing. She just talks about her own experiences of being so desired online that she's fighting guys off, these handsome, rich perverts off with a stick online.
Right.
Beating them off.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. No, not at all. I think having lived through this ordeal of being called a cuck online,
yeah,
I have a little better sense of some of the red flags that I pay attention to.
Okay,
buddy. All right, we'll get to that in a little bit. Do you want to read this thing? At least get into it a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, sure, why not?
Let's see. The fat lady that wrote a interview with Maddox. Here we go. No, thank you. I don't want to subscribe.
Uh-huh.
Big oof, she says.
Yeah.
Patreon is enabling an insane stalking campaign. Wow.
An obsessed fan.
George Zunian, a.k.a. Maddox, talks about how big tech allowed an obsessed fan to turn his life upside down. By Natalia Antonova.
Wonder if she's discovered the lawsuit.
No. Of course not. She's fucking retarded.
Yeah.
George Zunian, better known as Maddox, is an OG celebrity blogger. His best page in the universe influenced me when I was younger and showed me that online opinion writing could actually be fun. I still say back to how much I rule when I'm with friends and I want to change the topic of conversation. What a fucking obnoxious cunt. I still say back to how much I rule. Maddox went on to write, the best-selling Alphabet of Manliness and have a successful YouTube career. No, false. While still maintaining the best page in the universe.
What in that he's like paying the hosting fees? Like, I mean, it doesn't really do much.
He doesn't do anything anymore.
Not really.
And he's also been dealing with a crazed stalker for a number of years. I highly recommend watching When Fans Become Stalkers.
Yeah.
The documentary Maddox recently uploaded, which breaks down in forensic detail the stalking and harassment campaign of a man whom we'll call Fanboy for the purpose of not giving him undeserved credit.
Yeah.
Bitch, first of all, I don't fucking want credit. You are not withholding credit from me by not the film details with the stalking campaign.
This is a documentary film he's made.
The film deals with the stalking campaign. How Fanboy has benefited from it. The sycophants whom Fanboy has involved, the lawsuit that resulted from this, and the impact this ordeal has had.
Well, it's what he's a
Maddox.
Total and complete victim here.
When it comes to naming names, I want to specifically name Patreon.
Okay.
Because it's Patreon that has fueled the stalking, harassment.
Oh yeah, and they were
they
were sued, and it was fucking laughed out of
because Maddox was violating their TOS by suing them, because their TOS says you have to arbitrate with them.
Yeah, I mean, he sued the customer service rep.
He did do that. I don't think she includes that in her interview.
Well, no, because she doesn't know anything. She doesn't have any of the information.
Let me resize this. Okay, there we go. Patreon that has fueled the stalking, harassment, and threats against Maddox. Patreon.com/The Dick Show. We'll probably do a bonus episode next week, I think, and go through the next one of his dumb videos.
Wait a minute.
What?
What's the note right there?
I don't know. Okay. Oh yeah, I did do that. Maddox has repeatedly
You started interacting with her?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Maddox has repeatedly appealed to Patreon to take down his stalker's account.
What have
but
you said?
Patreon refuses to do so. Cyber stalking is fascinating to me because I'm so attractive, as I am frequently a target myself. Oh God, fuck you. So much so that I created Safer Dating Now, a project aimed at helping people and avoid creeps on dating apps. Let's see this shit. Safer Dating Now? Like a blacklist for guys that won't fuck you? Safer Dating Now. Classes plus consultations on how to avoid scammers, spies,
consulting.
spies.
Consulting. Like it's great. It's the biggest fucking
A phone call. Call me if you want. Call me if you want me to tell you if this guy's a creep or not. I'll get a look at him.
It's awesome. Let me just teach you how to be better. That'll be a bunch of fucking money.
How many spies do you encounter?
Yeah.
Like spy versus spy with the nose?
Right.
I think you could identify that. And people who want to turn you into a lampshade?
Oh my God.
Like a Holocaust reference?
Yeah, right.
Oh boy. Natalie, what are you doing?
It's a little much.
Natalia. Yeah, that feels a little inappropriate. My services. Now let's see what she's about. Hi, I'm Natalia, an OSINT expert and digital investigator.
What is that online? What is that? It's
Man, this bitch has big wrists and look at these shoulders.
Huh.
Kelsey's, they're gonna draft her playing the Super Bowl next week. Lay him out, put her on the front line. Putin won't know what hit him.
That's
come charging through with those shoulders.
I got to see your
like
interactions.
the water boy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what she looks like.
Yeah.
Visualize an attack, water boy.
Yep.
Putin, I'm coming for you. This is her. I'm going to cut out her mouth. I'm coming for you. I'm a top investigator, digital investigator.
You'll get sued because that might be real. It's a deep fake, but it's,
Oh, yeah. Can you fucking believe that? No more deep fakes. You're going to jail.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, man. I investigate creepy people for a living.
Yeah.
Because she probably wants to fuck. She probably wants to fuck me. Probably why she did this whole thing, not mentioning names, trying to play hard to get. Which is why I can help you protect yourself online. She's got a little chat thing.
Did she tease this story was coming out and you started talking to her?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Great.
Bitch, your fucking chat window's broken. Let me turn off my Brave Shield.
Oh.
It's probably doing it. Dick Masterson.
Uh-huh.
Dick Masterson at gmail.com.
You're going to give her what she wants.
Yeah. How do I get shoulders like that?
Oh my God.
How do I get powerful shoulders like that? All right. About me, my work in this project. Jesus fucking Christ. This is how far-right propagandist turns up in Moscow.
No, this is just different.
That has nothing to do with dating. Okay, whatever. Let's go back to this. Cyberstalking is fascinating to me. I'm frequently a target myself. Yeah. This is why I recently called up Maddox to have a conversation about The Stalker, the documentary, the false perception that stalking only happens to famous people.
Yeah, I'm sure that offends him.
So he's not famous.
I'm sure that...
Maddox, I'd love to interview you for my series about how stalking happens to normal, everyday, non-famous people who are not noteworthy in any way.
Yeah.
How big tech empowers stalking and what to actually do about it. Ignore it. Note, the minute I reached out to Maddox publicly about having this conversation, Fanboy started interacting with me. Yeah, that's true. He watches Maddox's social media accounts like a hawk. Well, I don't, but other people do. Thus proving Maddox right.
Well, if other people do, then clearly you're behind some huge conspiracy.
Why did you tweet about it?
Right.
What's the fucking point of promoting it on social media? Because if you think that's weird,
it's for her. It has nothing to do with. She's not trying to. She's not helping anybody.
I'm putting all my stuff out there.
Yeah, that's right.
Frankly, I'm offended that you're consuming it. Someone I don't want. But if you think that's weird, it gets a lot worse. Natalia, I hope it doesn't frighten you to say that I'm a big fan. I think now it's scary to say that, right?
What, do you call me a pussy?
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Fucking voice.
No, not at all. I think having lived through this ordeal, I have a little bit better sense of the red flags that I pay attention to. He sounds like fucking Towley, man.
I can hear him answering this question. Yeah.
Such a fucking phony. I watched the video that you dedicated to your stalker. I watched it in batches because it's a movie, an internet documentary, but it has a style that keeps you engaged.
It's just like this is an ad. Like, this is promotion. This is a late show promotion.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
And you guys did a lot of skillful editing. It's not you guys. It's just one guy.
Right.
One skillful fucking freak.
A lot of misdirected,
deceptive editing.
Deceptive. Thank you. Deceptive editing
to keep the reader pulled in at all times. It's not a reader. It's a viewer. You stupid cunt. I think it's great because it forensically breaks down the problem.
If you have no logic and can't spot. This doesn't add up. This doesn't add up. This doesn't add up. This doesn't add up.
So what I first wanted to ask you is, what's the response been like? Yeah, Maddox, what has the response been like? So first, the response was overwhelmingly positive. In fact, even from people within the stalker mob, some have apologized. They said, hey, man, we had no idea it was this bad.
Because they don't want their names on the fucking internet with you saying they're fucking Hitler. Because stupid people don't actually look into anything.
No.
I would be great if this chick honestly watch some of the videos that break down the lawsuit.
Well, that's what I said. I said, hey, why don't you ask him about the restraining order and the rape list?
Right. What?
Let me know if you want me to talk to you about this.
Yeah.
It was totally normal.
Yeah, sure.
They had no idea. They had no idea that Fanboy was supporting neo-Nazis.
That he's impersonating. That he's impersonating fucking journalists and things like. She doesn't know anything about that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Impersonating a fucking female journalist.
Right.
They had no idea this guy was stalking me and harassing me and others, my friends and journalists, and anyone associated with me for this long.
Yeah,
I DM'd her, so that was me proving him right.
She is the furthest thing from any kind of journalist.
She's way too fat to have been stalked. Then, as time's gone on, of course, they try to dig their teeth into this thing. What? They try to dig their teeth into this thing? Sink your teeth into something.
It's amazing. That is...
And try to come up with anything they can to discredit the documentary.
Bro, dig your claws in.
Yeah. Sink your teeth into. Their one silver bullet, the one thing they're latching onto near the beginning, is a graph I show in reverse chronological order. And they're like, oh, that's misleading. But it's not. I show the numbers on the screen. And I also say exactly what you're looking about.
And you do the same thing over and over and over again.
The other response I get is shock. From a lot of people. Shock that this has happened. They didn't know about it, and it's gone on for so long. What has gone on for so long, Maddox? People making fun of you.
Right.
That's
and
your
then
entire website.
Everybody on Earth.
Your entire website is making fun of people, you fucking crybaby. Also, as people watch this video, you had a whole video outing a guy that fucked his patio furniture.
Right.
For no reason.
Right.
The other response, also, as people watch this video, sometimes what will happen is they'll pause it. They'll leave a comment and say, oh my God, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. Then they'll continue watching it. They'll come back and update their comment and say, oh my God, it gets worse.
Bro, they're talking about your video, not the content of it.
Natalia, I think shock is necessary. You got to shock people in order to get them to pause and stop. And think about how these situations develop. How did they develop, Natalia? And oftentimes, as I see this problem again and again with stalking victims, the people who do the stalking are oftentimes so crazy that when you explain it to normal people, you end up sounding crazy.
Yeah.
So this fat bitch is explaining her stalking problems to normal people, and they're saying, You sound crazy.
Yep.
Which is why I really like the fact that the movie had a beginning, a middle, and an end. And it took the form of a narrative.
And you were duped by all of it.
Because she's just as crazy as him.
The facts are all out there.
Because if you don't lay it out as a documentary piece, as a forensic investigation, what ends up happening is that you sound Looney Tunes. Should capitalize that.
Also, Warner Brothers might have something to say about that.
Speaking of Looney Tunes, after you and I connected over the documentary, your stalker immediately jumped in. He's now contacted me 3 times. Yeah, I tweeted at her 3 times.
Yeah.
Trying to discredit the whole thing. It was incredible to see how he's proving you right with everything he does. So the goal is to make your supporters in this situation so uncomfortable that they turn away from you. Right? Yes. It's harassment as a mode of operation. Anyone who tries to reach out to me, he'll try to create some kind of division. He'll create this wall of harassment. A wall of harassment.
Uh-huh.
And he's got this small mob of sycophants. And anyone he targets, he knows they'll all attack on his behalf. He's asked them to do it in the past, and he knows they'll continue to do it on his behalf. You're not the first journalist who's been attacked like this. A while back, when
You're
my
not
lawsuit...
a journalist.
No. A while back, when my lawsuit was first filed, a journalist from Adweek picked up the story because one of the defendants in this lawsuit works for a company named Weber Shandwick, a PAR agency in New York. They're pretty big. And
they're huge.
One of those supposed progressive companies that have DEI initiatives and care about equality and inclusion. And yet they have this employee who's taken part in this harassment of me.
Can I stop for 1 second?
Under the watch with their knowledge. Yeah, sure.
The way that he talks is very telling. There's little things. Can you go back up?
Mm-hmm.
And I meant to bring this up in a video we watched.
Yeah.
When my lawsuit was first filed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, at least he says my lawsuit, but he says.
Oh yeah, he usually says like the lawsuit.
Well, but when my lawsuit, when I first filed my lawsuit, he on the other week he said, yeah, so he got sued. He did not say he completely cut himself out of it because he knows that it's fucking wrong.
Yeah.
There's always those little tells that say that. And he does that all the time where it's like, so he got sued because of all the illegal things, all the crimes he committed. Yeah, all the crimes he committed. Yeah. No, I sued him.
Adweek was really interested in the story.
He got sued.
And then it got thrown out. I mean, I
didn't have anything to do with it. Yeah.
Adweek was really interested in the story. Well, Fanboy, the stalker, started harassing the journalist, and then his followers started harassing the journalist to the point where the journalist essentially said, you guys are proving Maddox right. This amount of harassment is happening constantly. I don't even remember who wrote that Adweek article.
No. I remember.
I doubt it. I don't think anyone cared about that.
Yeah.
And by the way, Natalia, when Fanboy contacted you on Blue Sky, I was so surprised because I preemptively block him everywhere I possibly can. How can he see your communication with me on a relatively small social media platform like Blue Sky?
He's an evil genius.
Tell me. I don't know. And how quickly did he reach out? Was it within minutes? Bro, it's Twitter.
Yeah.
Natalia, it was definitely less than an hour.
Uh-huh.
Because you tweet it, and then people see it, and then send it to me, and I tweet it and say, look at this, get a load of this shit.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Real simple process, guys.
Uh-huh.
Less than an hour, you reached out to me, and he immediately started harassing you on Blue Sky. When you blocked him, either one of his sycophants or a sock puppet reaches out again, and then he reached out to you on Twitter?
Yeah.
He did so very quickly, yes. And this is the pattern. I told another person who reached out to me and wanted to have a conversation about the movie, and I warned him. I said, this is what happened to it. Is he talking about Harley? This is what happened to a journalist who reached out to me. So just a heads up that this could happen to you.
Wait.
You could get tweeted at.
Yeah.
You could get tweeted at. If you're not careful,
yeah,
he could tweet at you
right
too.
Uh-huh.
it's interesting that sometimes when you mention it to people, they have this romanticized idea of stalking, right? What? Yeah, what you're doing. Calling your ex's school and shit. That's the romanticized idea of stalking.
Right.
Making videos about multiple of your ex-girlfriends. That's a romantic idea of stalking that you are doing, Maddox.
Yep.
You sicko.
Right. He's accusing everybody else of what he...
You shouldn't be dragging any of your exes into your online fights, you fucking freak.
He has
weirdo.
Done without... No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah.
He's fucking dead to rights guilty on all of this stuff.
Like, oh, I wish I was important enough to be stalked. He's still going with this like fake ass humility thing.
Right. But he thinks
I wish I was important enough to be. But,
he thinks
look at
he
me.
is.
I'm just a fucking failure. I don't even have a car. I mean, I live in Section 8 housing. I eat gummy bears. I have a bunch of bugs in my house. Yeah. I mean, I'm a total fucking embarrassment of me and my brother. My brother's
like
fucking
Selena.
retarded. I'm the embarrassing one. Isn't that weird? Oh, I wish I was important enough to be stalked is something people say to me. And it kind of pisses me off because they have no fucking idea how horrible
I wish I was,
it
so
actually is and how invasive it is in every aspect of your life.
He's saying he's super important.
Yeah.
I would want to trade places with you, so I'd be important enough to be stuck.
And it kind of pisses me off.
Right.
I'm over here just trying to be a banana on Twitch.
These are two fucking
Why's your hate mail still up, buddy? Why's your fucking hate mail section still up? Why do you still have a video about a guy that fucked his patio furniture? You know, as awful as this is, I think this is her. As awful as this thing is, as horrifying, holy fuck.
No, this is him talking about making the movie.
Oh. As awful as this
I still
thing
owe it
is,
to the fans.
as horrifying.
Yeah.
I still had to do my job and make it as entertaining as possible to tell the story in the movie. Because otherwise, people are going to tune out. They're not going to pay attention to it. And one of the best compliments I receive pretty consistently is that people say they only intended on watching 10 minutes at a time, and then they sat down and watched the whole thing in one sitting.
It's watching a slow motion fucking car crash. Are you fucking kidding me with this?
Natalia, I wanted to ask you, and you don't have to be specific because specifics often give away crucial information. Natalia, he lives in Section 8 housing. He's dead broke. He doesn't have a fucking car. You guys aren't playing spy versus spy with Putin. You're both fucking failures writing online. You have a following because you have tits. Maddox doesn't have a following because he has tits. But in general, how would you say your life has changed? How has the stalking changed your lifestyle, your day-to-day? So one thing I'm very cognizant of is not posting anything about my private life anymore online. Like, pretty much never, with very few except... Like, what? I have my close friends group that I post things to, which is just a handful of losers. I mean, people. Beyond that, if I'm going to a public event, I generally don't talk about it until a day or two after the fact, or several hours after the fact. I never project where I'm going. What?
Okay.
I don't want the stalker to show up there. You can show up at places, by the way. Pretty much wherever. That's not any kind of stalking. Showing up at places, public places. I don't want him to send his people there because he's obsessed. I believe he's capable of violence. He has assaulted me in the past when we were friends, by the way.
What?
And I know he's capable of violence. He's a huge gun nut.
What's he talking about?
Is he talking about when he was reading me about stats? When I was talking with him and Randy about the show.
Assaulted? Like, I know, like...
And I said, if you don't change your fucking tone, I'm going to drag you over this fucking table.
Oh, I
guess he's considered that assault.
That's a threat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah. But you know what that reads like. It means like you hit him. Like that's what people think when they see that.
Yeah, but it's weird for a man to say that.
Yeah.
He's assaulted me in the past. What do you mean he assaulted me?
But I mean that's
something a woman says.
But his shitbaggery is calculated.
Yeah.
He's just not smart enough to put it in a way that people don't see through.
Yeah.
It's if he's
too autistic to know that he's using a domestic violence from a woman's line.
He has a devious mind, but he's not smart enough to
pull it off.
To pull it off. Yeah,
only
it
this
shows
like
all the
stupid
time.
bitch who's selling a consulting service for dating online.
Right.
When she's not attractive enough to know anything about dating online. He's told people he wants me dead. He uses a code word in his podcast where I don't know the full context, but he tells people to go to Greenland.
Where did that come from? Somebody
Mumkey Jones.
Mumkey Jones, yeah.
Greenland had legal suicide.
Yeah.
So you tell people,
right,
I'm going to go to Greenland.
Right. And that's just...
Instead of I'm going to kill myself.
It's one of those things
kill myself online.
that grows out of a show.
Yeah. And the reason is because I guess Greenland has one of the highest suicide rates. So when he tells people to go to Greenland, he's telling them to kill themselves.
Uh-huh.
At one point, he hijacked my podcast feed because he set up the original account for it. Well, then I didn't hijack your feed, did I? I was putting stuff on my account. He interjected a surreptitious message at the start of my own podcast, telling me to go to Greenland and attacking my family.
I don't think I can unscramble it. He
has a code word saying that he goes to Greenland because it has the highest suicide rate, and he's telling people to kill themselves. When you see something like this, you're a journalist. Obviously, you wonder, what is the other side? Wait, you wonder, my side? What is this guy's gripe? Well, he's telling people I called them a rape apologist, but you saw the video. I don't even know what that means. You called me a rapist, Maddox, a rapist. I don't think he's ever told me in those exact words that he thinks rape is okay, but he's definitely...
You don't think he's...
I don't think he's ever said that rape is okay.
I can't say that he didn't.
Fuck?
I can't... I don't remember exactly.
Maddox
I think you would remember if Dick said, hey, you know what? I think rape is fine.
In all honesty, rape's cool.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's good.
Yeah,
that's right.
I've never...
Pretty sure you don't have a memory
Maddox has never told me that his mom didn't molest him as a kid. Maddox has never told me that he wasn't raped by his mom.
This is that fucking... Right.
And, I don't know about I'm no psychologist, so I don't know what people exhibit when they were molested by their mother.
People fall for an argument like that.
Or his dad.
We can't prove it wasn't aliens.
Maybe his dad got confused. His dad's an old guy. Maybe he got confused, wandered into the wrong room at Ryan, started fingering assholes. He's like, whoa, this ass is a lot less hairy than I'm used to. Oh, son.
Masterful. It was masterful.
Thank
Edmund.
you.
You ever see L.A. Confidential?
Yeah.
It's growing. James Cromwell. That was masterful. Edmund. He's calling
masterful. I don't think he's ever told me in those exact words that he thinks rape is okay, but
yeah, here we go.
Maddox, no one on... I guess maybe Islam honestly thinks that rape is okay.
Certain aspects. Certain fundamentalists.
Fundamentalist religions think that rape is okay, kind of in some circumstances.
Yeah.
No. All right, whatever. But he's definitely a victim blamer. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Right.
He's definitely told me if a woman gets raped at a party, she's drunk, passed out, she should expect to get raped.
He still doesn't understand.
Doesn't get it.
That whole thing.
Because no one wants to rape him.
It's about taking
Do not get drunk and pass out because you will get raped. Don't do it.
Thinking like that will keep bad things from happening to you. That doesn't mean that it's your fault.
Somebody has to
do the act, the criminal act of rape. But you can do things to protect yourself by thinking a certain kind of way and taking precautions. That's all it ever fucking meant.
It doesn't matter if someone's passed out, drunk, spread eagle, naked.
He's taking that. He's saying she deserves it.
All right, man. It doesn't give anyone the right to touch them. Okay. The second thing is, it's worse than rape. The second thing is worse than rape. The second thing is, he said he got banned from a comedy theater because of that. No, I don't think so. I think it was just because... you sent everybody the Men Are Better Than Women article of rape and said, I'm a huge fucking scumbag and that all of that was serious and it wasn't worth the heat. It wasn't worth the heat of you causing this problem because UCB was, besieged by activists, feminist activists
sure,
who are
sure.
going after anybody and everybody, and it's just not worth the pain in the ass of you giving them fuel, of you feeding them stuff to use against me and everybody I know. So, thank you.
Pacifico.
I know I'm out of good.
Wow.
I mean, the Voodoo Ranger, maybe. I got this, the voodoo stuff. I fucking hate that fruity beer. No, this is fine.
Pacifico.
They got to make that fruit label bigger.
Oh, really? So you
Voodoo
don't accidentally
Ranger?
buy it?
Yeah, because I opted.
Why? What is it? What fruit's in it?
All of them.
All of
fruit
them.
punch. So it's probably just trash.
But it's beer. It's like an IPA.
Yeah, and I opted not. I saw the Jungle Juice one, and I went, okay, I don't want that shit. I got this one.
Right.
And it was another fruit one. Like, what are the odds that there's two fruit ones by the same label?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Who goes to this fucking store that's buying all this fruit beer?
I don't know. People don't like beer.
They deserve to be raped. I know that. The second thing he said is that he got banned from a comedy theater because of that. I wish I could take credit for that, but that's not why. You do? But that's not why he got banned. Yeah. It was because his followers had attacked that comedy theater and bombed it with negative reviews. No, Maddox, nobody knew about UCB listening to this show ever until you posted a video that I was a fucking rapist to your private comedy account to all of them. And also, 2 women at the comedy theater came out and kind of lightly Me Too'd him.
Came out to who? Like, is this posted
Publicly?
anywhere? Like, right, that's what I mean.
They didn't accuse him of, like, sexual assault, but they definitely said he made them feel uncomfortable.
That's a pretty broad...
Uncomfortable? Yes, you women should feel uncomfortable around me. I don't want to be around them. I don't want to hear their fucking stories about their life. I don't want to hear their fucking comedy. What do you mean uncomfortable?
Does that mean if they tell jokes and you don't laugh, they're uncomfortable?
Yes, they feel uncomfortable all the fucking time. They have black holes in their stomachs where their hearts should be that just need to be fed attention all day.
I feel uncomfortable. I feel uncomfortable every moment of every day.
2 women came out and said he made them feel uncomfortable. Okay.
Why does he have a macaw on him?
Cock.
That's funny.
Cock. Did he take this picture for the interview? By the way, this interview had 30 likes on Twitter.
That's like a Hugh Hefner, like a smoking jacket, or not a smoking, it's like his robe, right?
Yeah, this should reflect your lifestyle.
Yeah,
you're dead broke, eating gummy bears, riding a bicycle around everywhere.
Yeah, this is my bird.
Making a video about your ex-girlfriend.
Beer steins and the. You know what? I mean, I kind of like the photo. It's really weird.
Good photo.
It's really weird. You can tell. Look, you can tell.
Why does he have this?
Look at the expression on. He goes like, "I'm a total fraud."
He looks like he's wearing so much makeup. Look at this. Look at all this fucking makeup.
Look at that forced smile in the eyes. Like, is this good? Are you buying it? Are you buying it?
Why does he have this?
Are you buying it? That is a psycho looking. It's almost like
wow. He looks like a pedophile.
It's also. It's like. Is the
pedo
is the bird gonna bite me? Is the bird gonna bite me?
Hold on, let me find the.
No, I know it's a very
smile.
No, it's incredibly forced looking.
Remember Maddox's pedos? Oh, it doesn't even rank. Maddox, what'd you do to your site, bud? Remember Maddox's pedo smile.
Maybe one day he'll unscramble it.
Did he take it down?
I don't think I can unscramble it. Remember the panicked
while he was spreading those hips. Okay, here's his pedophile smile article.
Well, he's got John Turturro in there.
I guess. View results. Okay, he's got John Turturro. Okay.
Yeah.
The actor. Who's acting.
Yeah, who's in right.
Man,
right,
I don't know, buddy. This seems like. Where was it? Is it this one? This seems pretty pedo smiley to me, Maddox.
It just looks so just put on. It's like so uncomfortable.
Yeah. Just more pedo smiley than this guy.
Yeah.
Oof. Am I having fun? Is this good?
Well,
am I doing a good job?
It's pained.
Tell me when to do it for real.
Bird's gonna bite him.
Okay.
Cock.
Natalia, if it wasn't these things, it would have been something else. Bitch, you don't know shit. If it wasn't those Me Too things. This is what I often tell people. They ask victims, well, what did you do to provoke this? He called me a rapist. And sued me for $380 million. And he got his girlfriend to call my girlfriend's school and try to get her fired.
Right, and then tried to fuck with every live show.
He's called every single fucking live show and told them a white supremacist.
Fucking, 5 different people or entities or, I mean.
What did they do?
Right.
What did they do to deserve this?
One guy used to answer, phone calls at Patreon, right?
Yeah, he sued a guy
who
now
has a bigger following than George does.
And it's like, look, some people have a certain mindset, and it actually doesn't matter how you act. Your very existence provokes them.
You know
if
why?
It wasn't that,
it's because they hate themselves.
He wouldn't. Yeah, he would have accused you of faking the moon landing or something.
Oh yeah. Boy, zinger. That's good. That's good. Yeah.
With that in mind, I want to go back to your point about your personal life because this is something I deal with too. This is about me now.
Well, this is a session. This is like a therapy session.
Like having to have a private and public Instagram, even though I have a tiny fraction of your audience. You don't though. You have a bigger following than him.
Well, I was gonna say like a tiny fraction of your his audience is. He died with with his generation.
Yeah.
Like we don't look at pages like his anymore.
No. But stalking happened to me to the point where I have to tell anyone I'm dating, well, I do have some crazy people out there who follow my every move.
She loves it.
So we need to be careful about public posts. What's interesting is that people think it can only happen to someone famous, and this is absolutely not the case, right? A lot of people don't understand that they think famous people kind of invite this. And it's really not a famous person problem. It's just a people problem.
I know. What? I'm a famous person.
Yeah. It's weird, but some of my friends will say that I'm the perfect person for this to have happened to because I've had the wherewithal to coolly and calmly collect all the evidence, document it, and tell the story as well as I can. Maddox, your friends are fucking gassing you up big time.
Boy.
What the fuck? They are retarded.
What about all the evidence of the just stupid shit and insane shit he's done?
Many people say, I don't think I would have been able to handle even a fraction of what you've gone through, but it can happen to regular people. For example, there was a case where a woman got into an argument with someone on Facebook over a controversial photo that a teenager took. The girl was like 14 years old or whatever, and a lot of people criticized the photo, rightly so. I think that's because it was kind of a tasteless photo, but she was also a 14-year-old girl.
What the fuck
was adolescents kind of do.
It was like something that was like inappropriate, like with her,
bikini shot? I don't know.
Or was it like inappropriate, like?
Of somebody else, probably. Of a kid.
Right.
So this woman got into an argument on Facebook, kind of defending the girl, saying, hey, she's just a kid, like she made a mistake.
Yeah.
And because of that exchange with somebody on Facebook, an anonymous person then turned this woman's life upside down.
Like, give me some specifics.
You could cross some random person, some unhinged person who could turn your life upside down. Because something makes them snap and they can't get over it and they become... Maddox, you posted everyone's name on a fucking Hitler Youth list, you idiot!
That's why you don't fuck with people's jobs. That's why you don't... That's why you don't fuck with people's lives, places of business, family members.
There are thieves, murderers, and rapists who don't get attacked as much. Mike Tyson, who has a conviction, hasn't been attacked like this. Mike Tyson was innocent, you piece of shit! You Gorbachev stain-headed piece of shit! Mike Tyson is fucking innocent! He's trying to say Mike Tyson is a fucking rapist. Fuck you, Maddox. Natalia, a few years ago, I was asked to consult in this case where a similar situation happened. These people had a freaking argument with someone at their local rugby fan club page. An argument over rugby? And they forgot about it, but this other person did not. It's got to the point that they had to install security cameras, like I have, and change their entire lifestyle. There were places they couldn't go anymore. There were numerous police reports, all because of a random rugby argument. Most of the time, we just don't hear about it because it's not particularly newsworthy. I don't mean to say that you were the perfect person to have this happen to. Nobody is. But I think that some of us have the tools to document it or fight back or somehow deal with it.
He does not.
Other people, when they're suddenly thrown into this vortex of complete madness, they don't know what's happening. They just don't know how to deal with it, right? It's something that I talk about with my readers a lot. It can happen to absolutely anyone. Nobody's immune from it. It can be so random, like a car accident. With that in mind, I want to talk about one particular aspect of the documentary, which I found to be so powerful. It was when you called out Patreon for enabling this insanity. Has there ever been any change in Patreon's position since the documentary came out? How about after the fucking lawsuit, Maddox? No, I haven't had any communications from Patreon.
You sued them and their customer service rep.
Yeah, you have had it, though. Yeah. You have had it. They said, no, you're crazy. No, you're crazy.
Get fucked.
No, you're crazy. Get fucked. And then you sued them, and they said, you're breaking the TOS.
Yeah.
You need to arbitrate. In a way, Patreon's position is somehow a little bit more egregious. Well, it would be impossible to be less egregious than me. There's something especially heinous about somebody who presents themselves as pure and virtuous and progressive, and then secretly is making money through this hate campaign.
Oh, you mean like you thought Patreon was like some like beacon of purity?
Yeah, the VC companies are really tripping over themselves.
It was like when he on the biggest problem when he was talking about how the helpful Honda campaign was like they're not doing that out of the goodness of their hearts.
No shit,
no
idiot.
What are you? That means that you had the thought that they were, even for a second.
Think they are?
You thought that for 1 second.
Yeah.
That makes you so much dumber than me. That's like you can't. Orders of magnitude dumber.
Patreon knows what's happening. I've filed probably 9 reports with them. Oh, God, you fucking loser. Yeah. Showing them the clips, showing them the evidence, sending them screenshots of how Fanboy monetizes his stalking campaign via Patreon. They have done nothing. And they keep letting it happen. What about the lawsuit? I also launched a website along with my video, which was very quickly put together because I was scrambling to get all the pieces done. It's been months, man. Why does it still look like shit? The website's called Jack Conte, Hate Profiteer, because it's literally hate profiteering. That's what he's doing. Patreon have the statement they've released. We believe in building safe communities for creators and their fans, which means we do not tolerate hate speech of any kind. Really? That's super fucking interesting. I'd like to hear more on that. Maddox, nothing that we have on this show is even close to the realm of hate speech. In fact, it's probably annoying to racists, some of the stuff we talk about. They probably do not like it. This show.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, one of their top creators, thank you. You admit it. You admit that it's not fake. You admit that the numbers for this show are not fake and that we are one of their top creators. Thank you. Is saying things like likening me to a dog and saying that when a dog misbehaves, you hit it. So that's what you want. That's hate speech?
Yeah.
What about the stalker's followers constantly posting swastikas everywhere?
They do?
No. White supremacist Nick Fuentes was on his Patreon-funded podcast. Jack Conte is profiting from this! Once I had a sponsor called Candid. They were an anonymous chat app. The stalker targeted them. Shortly after he targeted them, his followers started flooding the internet with racist, rape, and death threats. One said...
What did you say? Like, what had he sued you at that
Burgers.
point?
No, Mr. Burgers is a Maddox superfan, and he has autism, and he always says N-word. He's the one that came up with get raped. He always just tells everyone to get raped.
Which was his favorite.
His superfan. Maddox loved Mr. Burgers.
He loved this expression.
Yeah.
He used to...
All of this is because of Mr. Burgers that Maddox says is now a fan, of like one of many fans of this show. It's a specific guy with autism.
How many audio clips could we pull of him going like, get raped?
Like 100. He's using
he thought
an
it was funnier than
autistic
anybody
guy
else
as a cudgel to get back at me.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Burgers is not healthy. He can control himself, but not always.
Yeah.
He's got a problem, and Maddox is exploiting
was
that
he
problem.
the one who Oh no, he didn't write the apology.
He did.
He did.
Yeah,
he did.
He feels bad about all this. He doesn't like it getting brought up by Maddox all the time.
Yeah.
The monkey he's referring to is my ex-girlfriend who's black. Yes, Mr. Burgers said that.
You? Oh, he said that?
Mr. Burgers said all of this. He always talks like that.
It makes he would like everybody to believe that like you're in constant contact with these people going, hey, call his girlfriend a monkey.
Yeah.
Hey, tweet at this person. Hey, what are you fucking kidding me? How much time would that? You don't have that kind of fucking time. What are you kidding me?
When they had my home address posted online, it took Patreon 3 days to fucking take that post down and take any action. They didn't take any action because we took it down right away. They just don't care.
That was him. That was him
telling other people his address.
Right. What if it's we put it together on stage.
Yeah.
At the show where it was like
took it down.
Yeah.
They just don't care. It's all empty PR because at the end of the day, they profit off hate because it gets them engagement, right?
Now
it takes
you're getting
clicks,
it.
and the algorithm loves negativity in every iteration. Speaking of negativity, and this is more of a personal question, but what are some of your coping strategies in dealing with this situation?
Oh, I sue. How
do you take care of yourself so that you're still able to live your life and do your work? He doesn't. He doesn't.
No. That ain't living. And that definitely ain't working.
You have to set up barriers between yourself and this nonstop barrage of hate of people who don't like you. That's what the barrage is. People who don't like you and are making fun of you because of your actions and your choices and smears that are coming your way. I haven't listened to a single full episode of The Stalker's Show. Or did they cut the Dick Show out of there? Natalia, you fat bitch. The closest I came to listening to a full episode of his show was his first one. It was too boring. I turned it off near the end. You have to tune it out. Wait, is it boring or did you have to tune it out for your mental health?
Right, okay.
That's number 1. Number 2, exercise consistently.
Uh-huh. I mean,
it's usually 5 or 6 days a week. Exercise helps. He's not doing any fucking exercise.
I mean, maybe not.
Look at him.
It's good advice.
Exercise helps a lot. Meditation has... This is 3 now.
Yeah,
you got 1, 2. This should be number 3.
1, 2, C.
1, 2. And meditation has absolutely changed my life. I used to hate it.
Because I didn't understand it.
I understand the purpose of meditation now.
Yeah. At first, I thought it was... I thought it was for weirdos.
It's super helpful. And making this documentary has been cathartic, that I believe. While you're being smeared, it's like the world is gaslighting you. Then you turn around, you look at the path that you came from, you really hiked up that mountain of being a huge retard. You built the mountain of being a huge retard that everyone hates.
Mount Retard. Scaled it. First man to scale it solo.
You built it's not Horseman, it's Horseman mountain of being a retard. Good job. I had that point of view after I finished this documentary. I'm like, well, shit. I climbed a really, really steep mountain there. Steep. Big.
High. You can climb a lot of steep things. They're normally not,
Wow, look, I climbed a really steep mountain there.
I know there's some grades that are, that are steep on parts of mountains.
Yeah. People always say, I climbed Everest. Oh, yeah, because it's the steepest mountain in the world.
Right.
That's the metaphor.
Right.
Fucking moron.
Right.
I went through hell, and it's still happening. It hasn't stopped. He hasn't stopped, which is why Jack Conte really needs to be called the fuck out. And also his investors. If Patreon doesn't give a shit, everyone's cutting ties with this dipshit, yet Patreon is saying, oh no, we're okay with it. Everyone is cutting ties. Who's cutting ties with me?
I don't know.
I got 2 huge shows on Patreon, though.
Yeah.
And no one was we weren't even making fun of you anymore, Maddox, until you started this fresh retard campaign.
I know. Like, everything quieted down. It was just like, that's what he's doing.
Okay.
Like, and then
he's
it's
a banana now. I hope he gets a job.
And then
I almost feel bad for him, but no.
And then he goes and just fucking lights a fucking forest fire.
I'm a big free speech advocate. You know me. Everybody knows me. I'm a big free speech advocate.
Yeah.
But you don't have to give people a platform to speak inside your living room. What? That doesn't mean their ability to communicate is gone. They can say whatever they want. You just don't have to host them.
As long as I don't have to listen.
That's not how the fucking law works, shithead. It's the logic of, if Alex Jones believed in free speech, he would let me publish on his website. He doesn't. Because that's his website, isn't it? He decides what's good to post on there. Yeah, that's great, bud. Really amazing really amazing synopsis of the free speech debate as it applies to the internet. It amazes me because they're private companies. They're not the government. You guys can make choices about what kind of content you promote, what kind of content you do not promote, what kind of content you host or don't host. I had this conversation with Hamish McKenzie at Substack back when the full-scale invasion of Ukraine broke out. I was just saying, can you at least try to mitigate the freaking Glenn Greenwalds and Michael Tracy's who are sitting here essentially saying that Ukraine should be wiped off the map? You're talking about a potential genocide of 40 million people. Nope. But I even think that Masoshi wanted to delete those guys.
Yeah, sure.
Because of 40 million people could get genocided.
Right.
Because Luhansk and Donbass wanted to separate from Ukraine.
Yeah.
And NATO didn't want NATO didn't want that to happen, and the CIA didn't want that to happen. But I think maybe we're turning a corner, or we will turn a corner. I'm a positive person generally. I think that by specifically making the documentary that you did and specifically calling out the people who are involved, including the Patreon guys, you made an important point. The stalkers are not doing this by themselves. They're aided and embedded by tech companies. Aided and embedded.
Embedded?
Abetted, you dumb bitch! Abetted, is that the word you're looking for?
Like, I know it's not her first language, but if you're posing as any kind of a journalist, you should probably
Did the fucking computer not suggest? Is it abetted? Is that what you're looking for? Yeah. By the way, are the stalkers' Patreon numbers inflated?
They're perfect for each other. Mm-hmm. They're perfect for each other. Neither one.
If you look at who's commenting positively on his video and follow them through, it's all like crazy bitches that have like their own novel series about like recovering spiritually and mentally from like imagined traumas.
Just damaged people.
Yeah. By the way, are the stalkers' Patreon numbers inflated? Mm-hmm. First of all, I don't trust anything that comes out of that guy's mouth. Because the place he's really successful is the one place that nobody can independently verify, which is Patreon. The IRS can verify it. You can easily game the system on Patreon and create the appearance of a loyal community.
How do you do that? I mean,
you should do it if it's so easy. It's really interesting to me how people do this and how Patreon allows it.
Like, how do you? I don't even know how you would do it. Like,
it's kind of like views on Twitter. People have now started taking the view feature on Twitter as gospel, even though we have seen that they're not real. Right?
So she links to something else, probably. I mean, that underline. I hope that's okay.
Yeah, Reddit, amazing. Okay. Twitter views are completely not real. We're living in this illusion. Well, they're real. They're just not. You just don't have a good gauge of them.
Well, Twitter, because they're talking about bots and shit, right? Like, I mean, for followers,
they're still real. You know.
I mean,
we're living in this illusion that then perpetuates these cycles of harassment from people who otherwise would not have had that leverage. Okay, so it's bots harassing you then? Is that the fucking point? It's all fake? And the only time these companies care is when we start hitting them in the wallet. They're only speaking money, so let's speak their language. What the fuck is he talking about?
Is he trying to start like a mass boycott? I mean,
Maddox and this fat chick are going to start a mass boycott.
Yeah, because there's definitely a really like good competitor to them.
Yeah.
It would just be just as easy for everybody to have their shows and make their money and stuff with the other game in town.
Yeah.
What is that again?
I like this a lot. There has to be more of a holistic approach to this anyway.
Oh, boy.
What I often tell my readers is that appearances can be deceiving. Look at their online discourse. Look at the online discourse on rape. Men are rapists, blah, blah, blah. What? Statistically speaking, what we see is that most men are not rapists.
What were you under the impression at one point that most men were rapists?
The rapists that are out there, however, are prolific. They rack up victims. It creates this environment where everybody's afraid of everybody else. Because of shit that Maddox is doing. Like this... the stuff he's describing. This way we don't see the reality of the problem. I think if we did see the reality of the problem, we'd be able to fix it better. I think if we have to apply the same logic to the people like internet stalkers who amass these followings, then they're not the majority. Most people online are normal human beings. Most people online don't want to be in a hate cult. Nobody really wants to be the bad guy. If you look at it as a numbers game, most people are not like this. You are the bad guy. You two are the bad guy. Step back for a minute and consider that people like our friend Fanboy are actually rare. If we recognize that they're rare, they just have an outsized importance within their ecosystems, and we can actually see it as a problem that can be solved as opposed to something that we all have to live with. Nobody really wants to solve this problem until they absolutely have to. My approach is to just make them have to. I want Jack Conte to see the amount of suffering and hate he's allowed to be put out in the world, because by his inaction and inability to solve this problem, and at least drop the BS, at least drop the progressive bit, you're not a nice guy. I've blocked people who are giving me money before because I don't believe in what they're espousing. Don't believe their views? You gotta shut this down. Tech company, you should have some fucking standards.
He just doesn't get it. He doesn't get it.
Okay, that's it. Sorry, everybody, it's so long. It's way too long. That's it.
Doesn't get it.
That's it. It's a big 30 likes on this one.
Amazing.
She got Putin in there.
It's really hard to even... It's like I've said it before. It's hard to even... You have to like stick a crayon up your nose and a Q-tip in your ear deep enough to kind of get into that level of thinking so you can kind of go through it.
Yeah.
Or like you have to realize that some people haven't looked into any of it.
No.
I mean, it's crazy that there are people online, numerous people with like careers from like breaking down the lawsuit because it's so
stupid.
Fucking stupid. Like, I can't believe this shit is real. This guy is fucking out of his mind.
And you got this fat chick who's just plugging her scam dating consulting to Maddox,
100%.
hoping that he promotes it,
100%,
right?
Yeah.
And he's giving her a tell-all, and that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all. Who cares?
Yep.
Okay, thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Patreon.com/The Dick Show. See you next Tuesday or Monday or whatever.
See ya.